Hey everybody, Sean from Media Assault here, and it's time finally for my double feature review that I had asked you guys to vote on my Facebook page. And the movies that you guys selected from the 8 choices that I had up on the page were The Woman in Black and Hugo. So I'll go ahead and review those now. It took me a little while. I had a little bit of I don't want to say a hiccup, but a couple of things happened this weekend that prevented me from watching all the movies as quickly as I wanted to. So I finished Hugo last night and then didn't get a chance to do a review yesterday, so here I am tonight. So I'm a little late for my Thursday, Friday double feature again, so I do apologize for that. And I will be putting up 8 more movies on my Facebook page, including some of the ones that didn't get picked last week. So please check out my Facebook page if you haven't done so already, and prepare to vote again. And I promise I will. I'll definitely get the reviews up a little sooner. I may scale it back. I may scale it down to just one review at a time, so when I watch one, I'll put the review up. I'm not really sure. I like the fact that I'm getting the reviews picked by you guys. I think that's really cool, and it actually forces me to watch movies that I could very easily procrastinate and just go, yeah, I'm not in the mood. But now I have kind of an obligation, and that kind of helps me out too. Anyway, the first movie is The Woman in Black. And this was released in theaters very early last year. I think it was early February of 2012. Stars Daniel Radcliffe, who most people know as Harry Potter. And about 10 minutes into this movie, you'll forget that he's Harry Potter. He plays this part of Arthur Kipps, a lawyer who's doing some paperwork trying to finalize the estate after the death of the owner of this isolated mansion. And the mansion is outside of this small village in England. While he's in this mansion, kind of going through all the paperwork and trying to straighten out and make sure he's got the final copy of the will and whatnot, he sees a ghost, a woman in black, and that sighting triggers a string of events that lead to tragedy in that nearby village. I won't say too much more. It's a very effective mystery story. It's also a good ghost story. It leans a little heavily on the jump scares rather than just trying to be genuinely creepy, but it does tell a good story. It's based on a novel by Susan Hill called The Woman in Black, which I have not read. It was also made into a TV movie, I believe, in 1989. Maybe later than that. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen that either, so I'm not familiar with the source material or anything that's come before this. But as it is manages to be a fun movie. If you like movies with jump scares, this is definitely one to watch. I think this would be excellent with a bunch of friends in a darkened room. And it's really a lot of fun that way. It does say on the back of the box that it is a haunted house thrill ride of a movie, and I would totally agree with that. The only problem I had with it is the story is a little predictable. Even some of the jump scares are a little predictable, but it's beautifully photographed. The cinematography is just outstanding, and it's a very well-made movie, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. The other movie is Martin Scorsese's Hugo, which was released in 2011, late 2011. I believe it was actually up for Best Picture. And this is a movie directed by a guy that's done films like Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, The Departed, and you would never know that Martin Scorsese directed this. This movie is the anti-Goodfellas. It's not gritty, it's not dark, it's not violent. It's probably about as cheery and bright a movie as you'll ever find. It absolutely glows on screen, and it looks fantastic, especially on Blu-ray. I did not see it in 3D. I don't have a 3D Blu-ray player, or rather a 3D TV. I have a 3D compatible Blu-ray player, but I don't have the TV to watch it on yet. But I've heard the 3D in it is fantastic, so if you have the capability of seeing it in 3D at home, definitely do so. I didn't know anything about this film before I watched it, other than the fact that it was the story of a boy trying to kind of solve a riddle that involved his father and the origins of this mechanical man, this automaton that his father found. and he's trying to fix it or trying to figure out what it was or what it did. And that's all I knew about it. I won't spoil it for you. The less I say about the plot, the better. It is a movie of discovery. It's a movie that actually leads you to discover something that you probably wouldn't be expecting at all from a movie like this, and that's really what I liked about it. The way it ended, I enjoyed immensely. It's very mature for what many people would probably label a kid's movie. I think kids might enjoy it. Again, I don't have kids, so it's very hard for me to say or ask my kids, you know, hey, what did you think of that? But I really enjoyed it, and I think that you know, if you're obviously old enough to be watching YouTube and understanding what I'm saying, you're old enough to enjoy this movie. But it is I want to say it's too mature for kids, but I think the older you are, the more you'll appreciate what it really has to say, other than just appreciating it as a good-looking, bright, cheery kids movie, because it's definitely more than that. And I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. I don't know the kid's name. Asia Butterfield. He plays Hugo Cabret. This is actually based on a book called The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, by the way. He is really good as Hugo. I liked him. I'm not a big fan of child actors, but he's really good. Chloe Moretz is in this. She's also very good. It's hard to believe she's the girl from Kick-Ass. She's the same girl that played Hit Girl. And also in this movie are Ben Kingsley, Sacha Baron Cohen. Yes, the guy that played Borat and Bruno is in this, and he's really good. And also Emily Mortimer and Ray Winstone. And Jude Law has a very small part in it. And everybody's excellent across the board. The cast is just wonderful. The direction is wonderful. The photography is wonderful. It's just an absolute magical movie. And I hate to say magical because that's so cliched, but it fits in this case. It actually is a very, very magical movie. So there you go, 9.5 out of 10 for Hugo, 7 out of 10 for The Woman in Black. Again, thank you for picking these movies for me to watch. I'll give you another opportunity to choose what I watch this week. And again, check out my Facebook page to vote on the movies that I'll watch and review in the next couple of days. Thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks again. Take it easy.